Okay, so here we have the second side of the 7.3b 6.6 practice on trapezoids and kites. Let's take a look at these. So it's telling us for number 17 that CD is the mid-segment. Now remember, a mid-segment is the average, the length of the mid-segment is the average of the two bases. So in this case, base 1, base 2, add B1 plus B2, divide by 2, that's going to be the mid-segment length. So B1 plus B2 divided by 2 equals the mid-segment length. Okay, so that being said, let's see what we need to do with this. So what's the value of x? They want us to find x. So in other words, when they took x plus 3, which was this base, and 4x plus 1, which was this base, added them together, divided by 2, they came out with 22. And we need to find the x that makes that work out. So we've got x plus 3 plus 4x plus 1 equals 22. And remember, it was divided by 2. Okay, so 5x's plus 4 divided by 2 equals 22. So multiply both sides by 2, 5x's, and then take away 4, you get 44, take away 4, you get 40. Divide by 5, x is equal to 8. So the value of x is 8. What's the value of xy? Xy then is going to be 4 times 8 plus 1. That's going to be 33. There's no units involved. And what's WZ? WZ is going to be 8 plus 3, which is going to be 11. And if you check, 11 and 33 does add up to 44, and when you divide it by 2, you do get the 22. Okay, let's look at number 18. Ooh, a reasoning problem. Let's see. The diagonals of a quadrilateral form two acute and two obtuse angles at their intersection. So let's try to sketch something like that. So we got a quadrilateral. The diagonals form two acute so let's make these acute. So we're going to call this the intersection. So here's the acute angles. These are the obtuse angles. From two acute and two obtuse angles at their... Well, is this intersection a kite? No. Because in a kite, the diagonals are perpendicular to each other, and the major diagonal bisects the minor diagonal. So not a kite. And because in a kite, diagonals are perpendicular and major bisects minor. Okay, so we didn't have to worry too much about that one once we realized they were talking about a kite. Otherwise, the way to do it would be to draw a diagram and then try to look for some cases. Let's look at 19. Another reasoning problem. The diagonals of a kite form right angles, of a quadrilateral form right angles, and its side lengths are 4, 4, 6, and 6. Now this sounds like a kite. So let's see. The diagonals form right angles. So there we got the right angles going. You've got consecutive pairs of congruent sides. You got the two 4s and you got the two 6s. Yes, it is a kite. You got consecutive pairs of sides, consecutive congruent sides, and you also have perpendicular diagonals, along with the major bisecting the minor. So that's going to work out. Yeah, let's look at number 20. Find the measures of the numbered angles. So these are all quadrilaterals. They all have to add to 360. Also, remember in a kite, if I kind of sketch one in here, these non-vertex angles are going to be congruent, and the vertex angles are bisected by that major diagonal, and we got right angles where they intersect each other. So these angles are going to be equal altogether. They're going to sum up to 360, all the way around for the polygon sums, and that's pretty much it. So let's see. So we got 101 and a 48. So that leaves these two congruent angles left over. So 101 and 48 is 149. If we do 360, take away 149, we get 11. We get 211. Yep, 211. And both of these are congruent angles. We have two congruent angles to take up that 211, which is 105 and a half. So each one of these angles is 105 and a half. Okay, so 105 and a half, 105 and a half, 211, 311, 312, 360. Yes, they do add up to 360. Let's look at number 21. So the major diagonal bisects the major diagonal bisects the non-vertex angles. This inside angle here is a 65. They want to know what that. Well, okay, they want to know what angle 1 is. Angle 1 is a right angle. So measure angle 1 equals 90 degrees. So we got that one taken care of. Now angle 2, let's see what we got. This is a 65. This is an, okay, so I was trying to go around this way, but there's not enough information to find out these angle measures. But if we go this way, this is a 90-degree angle also, because it's a linear pair. Well, they're all right angles here at this intersection. We've got a 90 and a 65, and this angle 2 makes 180, so that's triangle sums. So a 90 and a 65 is 155. 180 take away 155 leaves 25 degrees. So the measure of angle 2 is 25. So we got 2 there, and we got 1 there. Okay, let's look at number 22 here. We got an 80 and a 44. Okay, this is really just like number 20, except it's turned sideways. These two subtracted from 360 divided by 2 is going to give us those two. So this is 124. 360 minus 124 is going to be 236. So 236 divided by 2 is going to give us 118. So angle 1 is 118 and angle 2 is 118. Okay. Let's look at number 23 here. Okay, this inside angle is a 27. The non-vertex bottom angle is a 27. That means this one's a 27. And we need to find these angles over here. So we can pretty easily, let's see, find out what 2 and 3 are by using triangle sums. And then once we know what 2 and 3 are, we'll see what we can do about 1 there. But this is a 27, so a 27 and a 90 gives us 117. 180 take away 117 leaves us with 67 degrees. 63 degrees rather. So we've got 63 degrees for this angle 2. Now this also is going to be 63 degrees. This is going to be a 27. So what can we do about getting this angle here? This is going to be a right angle. These are two consecutive angles. Let's see. This is a 54. Only part of this is a 63. These two sides are going to be congruent. Let's see. I apologize. I don't see any other way to get at angle 1 right now. Let me circle this one and go on. And if I remember, I'll come back and think about it. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's see. Here we got a 59 and an 87. Two other congruent angles. Altogether, they have to make 360. 59 and 87 is going to be 146, I believe. 130 and another, 146. If we do 360, take away 146, we get 14 out of this part. We get 214. Divide by 2, because these are both congruent, we get 107. So both of these are 107. So I get 25. This angle is 51. Well, angle 1 and angle 2 are going to be congruent. Or 51 and angle 2 are going to be congruent, so angle 2 is 51. Together, these three make 180. You get a 90 and a 51, that's 141. 180 take away 141 is going to be 39. So angle 3 is 39 degrees. So we got angle 3. Now we have to get angle 1. Angle 1 is a right angle. It's at this intersection. It's linear pair, vertical angles, whichever way you want to go. There's 4 right angles there at the center. So that's a 90. Okay, here we have to do some algebra, pretty much the same idea, except now we're using variables. Let's see what we got. Okay, looking at this bottom triangle, all 3 of these angles have to add up to be 180 using triangle sums. We know that this one's a 90, so we have a 2x plus a 10x minus 6 plus 90. All has to come out equal to 360. So let's combine like terms. Let's put our x's together and put our numbers together. We've got 12x plus 84 equals 360. Take away 84 from both sides. 12x's is 276. Divide by 12. 20 is going to be 240. That leaves 36. That's going to be a 3. So it's going to go 23 times. Okay, for number 27, if we notice, okay, this is a 5x minus 1, but these angles are congruent because the major diagonal bisects. So this is also 5x minus 1. And we got a 90 there and an 8x, which is this one here. So altogether, these have to make 180 degrees. So we have 5x minus 1 plus 90 plus 8x equals 180. Combine like terms, we get 13x's. Here we have 89 equals 180. So this gives us 13x's equals 91. And x is going to be 7. X is 7. Okay. That's all we need for that one. Let's see what we got here. This is y. This is y minus 9. So this is also y minus 9. This is also y. Okay, if we look at number 28, let's see. These are the non-vertex angles. These are going to be congruent. So we can figure out what x is by setting these equal to each other. Once we figure out what x is, we can figure out what these angle measures are. And once I set these two equal to each other, I can find out what their angle measures are by substituting back in. And then all together, this angle here, if this is a y minus 9, this is also a y minus 9. If this is a y, this is a y. All together, these angles have to add up to 360 degrees then. So that's what we're going to do. So set 4x plus 13 equal to 5x minus 15. Take away 4x from both sides and add 15 both sides. X is going to be equal to 28. So if x is equal to 28, 5 times 28 is going to be 140. 140 take away 15 is going to be 125. So that's 125. That's 125. Now, altogether, these have to be 360. So I could just go ahead and do this. These two 125s makes 250. 360 minus 250 equals 110. So these angles that are all left need to add up to 110. So if we look at what's left over, these angles need to make 110 degrees. We've got two y's, another y, and another y. That makes 4 y's. And in numbers we have two negative 9's, minus 18, and that's got to equal 110 for the angles that are left over. So these two angles, and well, these two and these two added together make these non-vertex angles. Altogether, these 4 angles make 360. We found out that once we knew that these are 125, what's left over is 110. These two angles need to make 110. Add them together. Okay, we're going to add 18 to both sides. 4 y's is 138. Divide by 4. Y is going to be 30, which makes 120. Looks like 30. This might be off a little bit. Okay, so if we do by 2's, we get 2 y's equals 69. So y is going to be 34 and a half. So this first time this half business has come up, maybe my calculations are off a little bit here. We got minus 18. So 4y minus 18 equals 110. Going back up here, 125. How do we get 125? That was 5 times 28, which is 140. Take away 15, 140, 130, 125. Yeah, so 34 and a half is what we get for y. Okay, let's look at 29 and 30. To make this figure a kite, these consecutive sides need to be congruent. So we need to find a number that works for both of these at the same time. So 4x plus 1 needs to be 17. So 4 times 4 plus 1 is 17. So x is equal to 4 would make these two consecutive. And if we go 24 take away 3, it's still 21. So x is equal to 4 is what makes that into a kite. Over here, this angle they're showing us is 6x plus 6. So this needs to be a 90. They've already shown us that the sides are congruent. Or consecutive pairs of sides are congruent. That might be enough to be a kite right there. But 6x plus 6 equals 90, because they're going to, this major diagonal bisects the minor diagonal at right angles, perpendicular bisector. Take away 6, 6x's is 84. Divide by 6, x is going to be 14. So x is 14 for that one.